दोस्तों राधे राधे। शुरू करते हैं अपना नया टॉपिक दैट इज इंडियन पार्लियामेंट। आज इस टॉपिक पे हम डिस्कस करेंगे। पार्लियामेंट इज द सुप्रीम लेजिस्लेटिव बॉडी ऑफ इंडिया। अब देखिए यहाँ पे लेजिस्लेटिव का मतलब होता है एक्ट ऑफ मेकिंग लॉज। सो पार्लियामेंट इज द सुपर मोस्ट बॉडी दैट मेक्स लॉ इन इंडिया। द इंडियन पार्लियामेंट comprises president and two houses. अब now the Indian parliament consists three bodies. First of all the president, and second of all two houses, that is Rajya Sabha and Lok Sabha. Actually the Rajya Sabha is also known as the Council of State and Lok Sabha is also known as House of Peoples. Of second point, the president has a power to summon and prolong either House of Parliament or to dissolve Lok Sabha. Now there is a very important powers of president, that is the president having a power to call and to dismiss and to dissolve any houses of the parliament, that is either Lok Sabha or Raj Sabha. Second of all, the Constitution of India came into force on 26 January 1950. Now, the Constitution of India came into existence and started their journey on 26 January 1950. And the first time general election held under this new constitution is in year 1951 to 1952. And the first elected parliament came into existence. And the first time when the parliament in India came into existence and start their workings in April 1952. These are the some important dates. Now we are going to discuss about the function and the powers of parliament. चलिए begin करते हैं. The Indian Parliament is a bicameral legislature consisting two house of Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha. अब यहाँ पे bicameral means होता है two chambers. So now the Indian Parliament has a bicameral means two chambers of making law making bodies. First of all, first chamber is Lok Sabha and second chamber is Raj Sabha. The members of Lok Sabha are directly elected by the people through voting. अब now how the members, now the question arises how the members of the Lok Sabha elected. So first of all, the members of the Lok Sabha are elected directly by the people through voting processes. Second, how the members of the Raj Sabha are elected, that the members of the Raj Sabha are elected by are elected members of the state legislative assembly. The parliament consists two houses and the president of India. Now the parliament can consist three things, basically the two houses, that is Raj Sabha and Lok Sabha, and the president of India. The function of parliament are mentioned in constitution in chapter 2nd of part 5th, and it is very important that in our constitution the function of parliament can be mentioned in chapter 2nd of part 5th of Indian constitution. Maybe remember. तो दोस्तों लेजिस्लेटिव फंक्शन पहले डिस्कस कर चुके हैं लॉ मेकिंग फंक्शंस के बारे में. द पार्लियामेंट लेजिस्लेट ऑन ऑल द मैटर्स मेंशन इन द यूनियन लिस्ट एंड द कॉन्करेंट लिस्ट. नाउ द पार्लियामेंट गिवन अथॉरिटी दैट ही कैन मेक द law on all the matters mentioned in union list and concurrent list. Now we are going to tell you about in union list there are basically 97 subject mentioned and in state list there are only 52 subject mentioned. Second, the parliament can also pass the law on items in the state list under the following circumstances. Now the parliament given the authority on following condition that he can make law on the subject mentioned in the state list. Now we are discuss. If the emergency is in operation, then any state is placed under the presidential rule. The parliament can act to make law mentioned in the state list. Now the point has to come. First of all, first condition is about if the in case of emergency, when the presidential rule is implemented on the state under the article 356, then the parliament can make laws on the subject mentioned in the state list. And second condition is that as per the article 253, it can pass the law on the state listed items if required for the implementation of international agreements, treaties with foreign powers. Now the parliament given the authority to make the laws on the subject mentioned in the state list under the article 253 that are related to the implementation, apply the international treaties, maintain peace and silence, and treaties regarding with the foreign powers. So up now we are going to discuss about the executive functions of the parliament. So executive means होता है administrative functions. In parliamentary form of government, the executive is responsible for the legislative. Now as we know that India is governed on the basis of parliamentary form of government. So here the for any administration is responsible for making the law in India, and the parliament exercise control over executive by several measures, and the parliament can control over the administration of India by several measures. First of all, by no confidence motion, the parliament can remove the cabinet out of power and it can reject a budget proposal or any bill brought by the cabinet. देखिए, parliament can passes a no confidence motion in order to remove the term of cabinet, and he can also with the help of no confidence motion he can also reject any type of budget proposal. A motion of no confidence is passed to government from office. And how the no confidence motion is passed? It is passed from the government office. Up second point, the MPs can ask the question to the minister on the omissions and commissions. Here the omissions means that cannot be included. Now the members of the parliament having the right that he can ask that what cannot be included in its commission. Any lapses on the part of the government can be exposed in the parliament. Any lapses, that if someone has been explained any failure regarding the part of government. Then C, adjourn motion. Allow only in Lok Sabha. The chief objective of adjourn motion is draw the attention of the parliament in recent issue of urgent public interest. देखिए, adjourn motion can only be introduced in Lok Sabha first of all. ठीक है, and according to adjourn motion is introduced in parliament to draw the attention of the house at a definite matter, and the matters related first of all public importance. Second upon it can be needed 50 members to be admitted. So financial functions of parliament. Parliament is the ultimate authority when it comes to finance. Now the parliament given a freedom of authorities to related to the matters of finance of our state. The executive cannot spend a single pie without the parliamentary approval. Now, the administrative or the executive doesn't have any authority to spend a single pie of taxpayers' money to spend without any approval of parliament. And now the parliament gives approval on the following ways. Now we are going to discuss. The union budget prepared by the cabinet is submitted for the approval by the parliament. Now the cabinet having a power to make the union budget, and it can be proposed in front of the parliament to be it to be approved. All the proposal imposes tax should be approved by the parliament. Now to take the tax from the institution, it can also be approved by the parliament. And second point, there are the two standing committees of the parliament to keep check how the executive spend the money granted by the legislature. Now the parliament has made two committees, that is public accounts committee and the estimate committee, and the function of this committee to check how the executive or the administrative authority of India can spend the money that is granted by the legislative or lawmaking authorities. ठीक है. Now amendments power of the parliament. ठीक है, power to cause changes in the constitution. Parliament having a power to amend the constitution of India. Now the parliament has given the power to cause changement in the constitution of India. Both the houses of parliament has equal power. Now both the houses of parliament, that is Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha, having given the almost equally power to change the constitution of India. Amendment will have passed in both Lok Sabha and Raj Sabha are effective, and the amendment that can be passed by the both the houses, either Lok Sabha or Raj Sabha, have came to be effective and came to be effective. Read about the important amendments in the constitution, and there are mentioned some important amendments in the constitution. सो दोस्तों, ये इंडियन कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन से रिलेटेड चार अमेंडमेंट हैं. पहला फर्स्ट अमेंडमेंट एक्ट जो 1951 में आया था, सेकंड फोर्थ अमेंडमेंट एक्ट जो 1955 में आया था, देन 17th अमेंडमेंट एक्ट है जो 1964 में आया था, देन फोर्थ है हमारा 34th अमेंडमेंट एक्ट जो 1974 में आया था. इन चारों को अच्छे से पढ़ लीजिएगा. और दोस्तों गुड बाय. अगर आपको ये टॉपिक पसंद आया हो और मेरी बनाई हुई वीडियो अच्छी लगी हो तो लाइक शेयर और सब्सक्राइब जरूर कीजिएगा. सो दोस्तों राधे राधे.